everyone. Unfortunately, we recorded the episode, and for whatever reason, the first half of the episode is gone. Just unrecognizable. So I had to cut the first part of it out. In case you were wondering what the first part was, it was just us talking about the name change. Not really that noticeable. It still says the Nakama Podcast, but now we just added the little "the" in front of it. And that's pretty much what you missed out on. Anyways, hopefully you enjoy the episode. So, with all of that out of the way, we're going to talk about Dandadan first, because it is the bigger one out of the two. Actually, do you want to do the little summary for it? Because I noticed last time I did all the talking, and I know I didn't really give you a chance to talk.
Oh, I know. So, Dandadan is about these high school kids, and it starts weird because the girl's dating this random dude, and she gets dumped. But she only what?
That guy, complete scumbag.
I know, but she only dates him because she thinks it's this ideal person in her world, and he thinks she's all cool. I don't know. It started off weird. I was like, that's the first clip. I'm like, I don't know where this shit's going, but whatever.
Yeah. So, little pause thing there. When me and CJ were going over it, we both thought that was weird. We thought she was talking about Ken from Fist of the North Star, but no, the Ken Makatara, I can't pronounce the last name. It's a real life person. It's a real life actor from Japan that was his roles of being like a stoic, reserved person. So I don't see the resemblance, but that guy was a complete scumbag. He didn't bring nothing to that relationship. He was like, you don't put out, you don't have money.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that was just weird because I didn't understand the premise of this show.
Yeah.
Then they're in class, and this loner loser boy is just eavesdropping and chases after the girl because she's so depressed because she got dumped. And then he just shows her this paranormal magazine he reads about aliens, and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And then they argue, and then they make a bet that ghosts are real because her grandmother is a little medium, and he says that's not real, but aliens are real. So they challenge each other to go to two different places, one abandoned hospital to prove that they're aliens, and then a closed subway train station that's been abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they both encounter the paranormal in Aliens and Ghosts, and I feel bad for the boy. Can't remember his character name.
She always refers to him as a cult coon because at the end of episode 1, he tells her real name, and she does not like that. Yeah, it's the actor guy.
And she's like, I don't want to fall for him, so never use that name again. But yeah, she gets abducted. He gets cursed from this lady that wants to eat his dong, and it was just very bizarre for a first episode.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, then second episode, after this night of being abducted and cursed by a evil ghost woman, they make it to her house, which is a little mini shrine place, and then he gets burned because he's cursed, and she all of a sudden has these medium powers after fighting the aliens off, and yeah, and they're just figuring out what the fuck is wrong with him because he's cursed.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I remember. Yeah. That's pretty much it. They're just he's cursed. She has medium powers, and they're fighting the paranormal.
Yeah, paranormal and aliens. So just to add a little bit more detail to what Peralta just said, me and Cruz 100% identify as a cult coon. Me and Cruz have always talked about cryptids and aliens and stuff like that. But yeah, he goes into the tunnel. He runs across the Turbo Granny. Apparently, you're not supposed to run away from ghosts. That goes against every movie I've ever seen. You always run away from anything. So the ghost catches up, like you said, takes his dong, and the end goal is for them to get back to that tunnel to beat up the Turbo Granny so he can get his dong back. But along the way, you do meet the grandma, apparently super young. They fight the Flatwood Monsters, which is an American alien sighting, but somehow is really into sumo in this anime. And the third episode is kind of like, it was kind of there. Like nothing really changes other than she does have to keep suppressing his turbo granny powers from going out of control. So now he has to sit there uncomfortably while using the restroom in front of her.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, overall, straight 10 out of 10 would recommend. I actually really like this one. I didn't think I was, the premise was interesting, but typically if I hear the hype from Cruise, I tend to brush it off because it's like, okay, this is like basically the internet. Like this is what the internet's choosing that it's going to be the hype one of the season, and 9 times out of 10, I tend not to like it, and not just to be a contrarian, but it's always been something that's just like Chainsaw Man. Did not like Chainsaw Man. Cyberpunk did not like Cyberpunk, and it's not just because they were cool and mainstream. It's just either the animation was weird or the story wasn't as intriguing to me as other things are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because both you and Cruz like to point out that I tend to really favor the isekais, and you guys are not wrong. So this is one where I knew there was a lot of hype to it, and I'm 100% on the bandwagon for it. I listen to the intro all the time when I'm driving to work, while I'm at work, and both jobs. They did a really good number with the opening, at least I think so. Did you skip the intro?
No, I watched it through.
What are your thoughts of the intro?
It's all right.
Yeah, and you know it's the same guys that did the Mashal intro, right?
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That one's all right too. Like I'm not into the
Yeah, the
thing.
Mashal one is super all right, but this one's super good. I didn't even know that they were also the ones that did Call of the Night. I don't think you watched that anime because it was on High Dive. Yeah, you didn't watch that one.
No, I don't use that platform.
But yeah, I give this a 10 out of 10. Would recommend to everyone. The first 2 episodes are really good. The third episode kind of slows down, but it kind of sets up what seems to be what's going to be ahead of them, which is just fighting other aliens, somehow trying to beat up the Turbo Granny. Again, a lot of weirdness to it, but I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your rating, and would you recommend?
I give it a 7. Um, I
A
don't know.
7.
Yeah, I'm not into the storyline. The only good thing is that it's dubbed, so I don't really have to fully pay attention. I can just listen to it. Uh, I don't like. I guess aliens and ghosts are kind of interesting, but I just that's all it's going for is they talk about aliens and ghosts. It's like a modern day X-Files, but not. That's
I'm not as serious.
yeah, it's I don't know. I mean his character is cool when he turns into his little demon ghost,
Mm-hmm. This
but
cursed version.
yeah, whatever he may be, but I everything else is kind of like meh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm not like a super fan of it. Uh, other than his cursed demon, that seems pretty cool because he acts all cool, but everything else is like kind of lame to me.
Yeah. So, right. For me, 10 out of 10 would recommend, and that's just the hypeness in me. But if I were to actually take away any biases from, how good the intro is, it is probably like more of an 8, like a solid 8, just for the fact that there is kind of unnecessary, not nudity, but like lewdness from the character and the girl. They're both high school students, so it's always going to be weird no matter what. So I think that's the only negative thing I would say about the show is that like episode 1 just kind of starts off hella crazy, and the main girl is immediately in her undergarments, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't know why.
But yeah. The next one is, oh crap, what was it called?
I
Oh,
don't know. Something dragon life.
Yeah, Goodbye Dragon Life. I think that's what it was called. This one is about a dragon who apparently was there since the beginning of time, or at least the beginning of when gods were ruling in this fantasy world. He apparently helped humans fight other dragons that tend to be evil. But one day, a hero, I guess, just killed them. And instead of being bitter, being like, "Oh, I can't believe I helped you guys, and now you guys are killing me," the dragon was at peace, being like, "You know what, bro? I'm the last of my kind. I lived a long life. This is cool." He ends up getting reincarnated as a human. He remembers that he used to be a dragon, and he still retains some of his dragon powers. He lives in a town. He's really good at fighting, but he's not really good at like support stuff. So he's not good at healing or, making potions and all that. But he's fine with it. He's content with his life. But he ends up running across this weird snake girl. I forget what they're called. Limas. I know they're like an actual creature and stuff like that, but kind of picture Medusa without the snakes on her head. But he ends up running across her. She tells him that he left her people, and what makes her people kind of scary is apparently they have these cursed eyes that they will just get you to do whatever they want. But she tells the main character, bro, I'm not like that. I just kind of want to explore the world, make friends with people, make friends with humans. But then she ends up telling him that people see her and immediately run away. So she's like having a hard time just traveling around because it's just her by herself. So, he gives her some words of encouragement, helps her out. And then, like, I guess she absorbs life energy, which I don't know if that just means in general, like, do you take away some of my social battery, or if it actually means like years of his actual life. But he gives her some. She gets really hyped up on it because it's dragon energy and she's never had any. So they part ways. That was episode one. I think episode two was more a knight comes into town, red eyes. It kind of made it seem like she was also an older dragon in the past because when they shake hands, like they both kind of locked eyes and the like little electricity kind of sparked up, and I thought he was going to say something, but surprisingly, he doesn't say anything other than, "Oh yeah, she seems really strong." I guess I don't know. Was that? I'm pretty sure I was paying attention. Um, he ends up running across the Snake Girl again. She runs across some humans. They ran away, and then third episode, it's just the three of them kind of hanging out. It seems like the three of them are going to be a party thing, which I guess I don't know how that works because the main dragon bro seems like he's good offensively, and same with the girl with the red eyes. Also seeming like she's really good at anything, and the snake girl kind of is like the support dude. So it seems very unbalanced of the three. Getting what I'm throwing down or not?
Yeah, I continued watching it. They end up inviting the snake girl to the village so that she could live with humans. And the whole goal is for humans and monsters to be able to live together and support one another. And
Yeah,
then they fight evil.
Pokemon. Yeah. So, like you just said, there is already demi-humans in this village. So that's why the main dragon bro is like, "Yo, you can fit in. It's gonna be hella cool." And they bring up the weird milk lady, and I felt
Yeah.
so uncomfortable about it, and not just for the fact that she just looks like a regular person with some cow horns, but then he like emphasizes on her boobies and like hella just being like, "Yep, all of the milk everyone drinks comes out of those two." And then it even gets weirder on that second episode when they bring out the knight to like participate in other people's stuff, to kind of be part of the town. And then the daughter of her is like, "Yo, try my milk," and it's kind of like, bro, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. I just kind of brushed that over. I was like, whatever. I'm going to just pretend that they just serve food.
Right? I don't know if it's like a Japanese thing. Do they just really like milk? Because this isn't the first anime that kind of like brings up like, oh yeah, people
Oh,
really enjoy drinking milk.
they drink tea. They drink milk tea, boba. So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I'm not a really big fan of milk. Like, I don't really drink milk bobas in general. If I get a boba, it's always like a slush.
Yeah, milk tea is a thing.
Yeah, well, I know you drink them. I think I asked you to go to some boba shop in San Jose when they were having the Final Fantasy collab, but we never went. And then I asked Janelle if she wanted to go, and Janelle said yeah, and then kind of also left me on red. Same, pretty good. That place in San Jose. I forget what it's called. I'll probably remember at some point. But this anime started off really strong, and it's pretty standard. It's not doing anything crazy. It's not a good thing, nor is it a bad thing. It's just really middle of the road. Like, it is kind of violent, but again, not really crazy either. Like, they fight an armored bear, and like he hella claws the snake girl's back, and you do see some blood, but at least as of right now, nothing to get that like 16 plus rating that it has on Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one is a solid 6 out of 10. If you want a safe ish anime to watch, this is the one I would recommend. I would wait for this one to be dubbed because as of right now, it's only subbed, and I don't know if it will get a dub.
It's dubbed in like French or something.
Yeah, I don't speak French. I speak Spanish.
Anyway, I give it a 6. It's just a basic anime. That's all it is.
Yeah, it very middle of the road.
It's not bad and it's not the best. It's just something to watch.
Yep. If
If
they
you
dubbed it English, it would be like a solid 7 out of 10. Would recommend. But I think that's it for this episode. Again, still kind of a weird spot. I don't know if this is going to be called the Nakama Podcast. We might just change it to something else. But I want the Nakama still to be in there, just for the fact that that's how people recognize us, other than just straight out seeing me. Because it is kind of weird when people. I guess I'm that recognizable. My boss from the security uh, job that I have texted me on Friday night at 8 being like, yo, sorry for the late response, but do you go to this the certain like secret 8? Um and I thought I was gonna get in trouble. I was like, oh no, someone snitched on me when I went there during my lunch one time. And like I called him and I was like, you know what, I don't want to text. Let's just rip this band-aid off. So I call him like, yo, so what about Secret 8? And he's like, oh yeah. So yeah, sorry about texting you so late. Have you gone there? And I'm like, okay, are you talking about personally or like during the job? And he's like, oh, personally. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, yeah, yeah, I go there all the time. I know the owner, X. He's been on the show. Peralta, you've met him before. And he's like, yeah, I go there all the time. I didn't even know that you knew about that spot. And I was like, oh, yeah, I met the owner. Like, what? How long ago was that? Like 2, 3 years ago now, right?
I don't know.
Uh, Anyways, he was telling me that he goes there and he was going through Sacred Eight Instagram. Definitely follow if you like tattoos and comics. Their Halloween event. Me and Brittany ended up going, and he's like, he was going through the pictures, and he's like, I thought I saw you. So he's like, that's why I was texted you, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, thank God, I thought someone snitched on me for nothing because it was during my lunchtime, and I was like, oh yeah, not the best picture of me, but I was like, the girl next to me, that's the reason why I have this job, this second job, because she is very expensive. And then he starts laughing, and yeah. So hopefully we don't have to change the Nakama podcast, but if we do, it's gonna have something hopefully with Nakama in it. But I guess we'll see in the future. We are gonna be recording something again this upcoming weekend, Peralta. Is there anything that you just want to suggest just to get out of the way now, or do you want me just to still send you the two?
Or you can just send me whatever.
Okay, just as long as it's not on High Dive or HBO, just because you don't have it, right?
Yeah, I don't pay for that extra shit.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, this is still called the Nakama Podcast, but whatever it's called, I'm still going to be here. I'm hoping Peralta's still going to be here. We're with this new video format. I know there's no video as of right now, but there will be soon. You can see both mine and Peralta's face. Maybe Peralta's, definitely mine. Um, in the future. So we might be doing stuff with internet people, or at least I will. But yeah, that's it of the episode. Bye.